Welcome to a new vlog. Today we're going for a walk in one of my favourite gardens. I'm really feeling called to go and look for some inspiration, try and hunt down some inspiration, so I want to share with you how I do that. But right now it is raining, which was not on the forecast. So we're just going to be kind of hoping and praying, fingers crossed it's not raining over there. But yeah, let's go check it out. Okay, we made it, we're here. It is really beautiful and sunny today. So yeah, let's go into the gardens, let's go and look for some flowers, and let's go and get inspired. So today's trip is all about seeking inspiration, and I want to talk to you about how I do that. So whilst I'm out in the gardens, out in nature, out on a walk, I will be looking for several things, and these include form, shape, texture, pattern and colour. So all of these things can be very inspiring and can feed back into my work. This doesn't necessarily have to be linked to the project that I'm doing, and quite often it helps if it's not. I've been feeling a bit stuck recently with the art that I've been making, so the aim today is to let myself be inspired, and this will hopefully spark some new ideas and breathe some life back into my project and the art that I'm currently making. Morning. Okay, so we've made it here. So we're here at Tree Garden, and this is a subtropical garden here in Morningsmith in Cornwall, and it's really beautiful. The weather down here is mild, and because of the shape of the valley there's lots of plants here that exist and can grow that wouldn't usually grow in the UK. So it's a really beautiful garden. It's one of my favourite places to come. Right now we are heading towards the koi pond, and then we're going to walk down through the water gardens. I'll just show you the view. Isn't it beautiful down the valley? And right at the end you can see the estuary just about there. And so we'll go down to the beach in a bit, but let's go and see the koi pond. Okay, so can you see the light being reflected off the water down here and just dancing across the trees and the leaves? I am mesmerised by shadows at the minute, so today being a sunny day is going to be the perfect day to have a look for the shadows that are being cast around the garden. Just looks like water in the air. As I walk through the gardens, I'm trying to keep an open mind and just take note of the things around me. Become like a sponge, absorbing and observing the things that I come across. I really love this water garden. It's so beautiful how the tiny stream cascades down through each level of the garden, creating mini waterfalls. The sound is so soothing to me, and in the sunlight it feels so tranquil. I love feeling fully immersed in my surroundings, and it's this sense of connection that I feel my work has been lacking recently. The garden feels very green at this time of year, but it's a lovely surprise to find these snowdrops growing at the edge of the water. The sunlight illuminates them and their gorgeous shapes, and they feel like such a vibrant, delicate contrast to the rest of the garden around them. So normally in the summer there are so many beautiful flowers down in the water garden, but obviously it's very early, it's March, so none of them are out yet apart from the snowdrops, which were still really nice to see. But it'll be so fun to come back later in the year and see all of these beautiful flowers in bloom. As I venture deeper into the garden, I come across the camellias, which are such a gorgeous pop of colour, and I love the way the petals sit so uniformly around each other. I then notice these small trees that are just shooting, and the structure is really interesting to me. I especially love how the sunlight illuminates the leaves and makes them look so beautiful and fresh with this zingy green. Something else I keep noticing as I walk around the pathways is the shadows that all the plants are casting on the floor. It's been so long since we've had such a nice sunny day, and I love the way that this creates shapes in the garden that otherwise wouldn't be here. I'm really fascinated by shadows at the moment and have been using them a lot in my work recently, which is quite a new thing for me. So on this walk today, it is really nice to reaffirm that this connection that I feel towards the play on light is still something that's coming through really strong and is still sparking ideas for me even now. I'm really obsessed with how the light dances through the leaves, highlighting the structures and the shape. This trunk is a really interesting texture as well. So in my mind, I wonder how I could recreate this with mixed media in my sketchbook. Already I've come across so many exciting ideas that are sparking inspiration. Wow, I'm not sure what these are, but they smell absolutely incredible, so beautiful, and they've got tiny, tiny flowers and these tiny little buds as well. Let's have a look. Yeah, if anyone knows what these are, please let me know, because yeah, they're absolutely beautiful. It's sort of raining. Can you see it? It's raining. It's such a strange day today. So I don't know if you can see this, but it's blue sky up there. It's raining. How funny. So I found a little bench to sit on, and it's underneath, I'm not sure what kind of tree this is. I should know. Is this a clematis? Don't know. Anyway, I'm sat underneath this tree on the bench here, and I'm sheltering from the rain, so there's a little shower at the minute, but it's so nice to watch across the valley. You can see the magnolia there, which are flowering, so it'll be really nice to get closer to those and go and have a look. So my plan whilst I'm here today is to look for inspiration. So whenever I'm feeling stuck, one of the things which is great to do is go for a walk and find inspiration. So this could involve shapes, textures, colours. It doesn't necessarily have to be flowers, because that's my project. Sometimes it's really good to look at things outside of your project to make it a little bit broader, and then that can spark ideas. So already whilst I'm here, you might have noticed that I'm looking at the shadows. So this is definitely something that's come out of the work I've already done so far in the 100-day project. So just being aware of the shadows that are being cast by the sun is so beautiful, and it's a different way of expressing myself and my experience of the trip, of the garden, of the day. But yeah, also I really want to start using more paints. So today I'm hoping I can find some inspiration to start working with paints as well. So it's really nice to look at the shapes that there are on the flowers, whether it's like the buds as well, things like that, silhouettes, the overall shape. So while I'm sat here, I might just do a quick drawing just across the landscape, because there's so many beautiful trees and things here. This is not something I normally do, but it might spark some ideas later on. So let's do that. Okay, so I've just been sat here doing this drawing, and it is a quick sketch, and I'm just trying to get down the shapes. So this is the bush right in front of me here with the little buds on. Let me show you here. Okay, this is the tree kind of behind it with the really interesting large leaves, which is this one here. You can see there. And then behind that I've got the magnolia, and I can't really get a full sense from this far away of the structure, but I'm trying to get down the essence. And again, there's kind of some layering going on here. So I'd love to get closer to those magnolias so I can have a better look. But while I've been sat here, I've sketched this little robin. There was a little robin that came and sat on the bench with me. I'll insert the footage that I got on my phone. I was too scared to move. He was perched right next to where I had my camera on the bench, so I didn't want to reach out and scare him. So I managed to get a little bit of footage here on my phone, but he was so close. He was about a foot away from my shoulder, and it was so sweet to see him. Oh, here he is. There he is. Can you see him? He's come back again. How sweet is he? Really sweet, very tame. He must be used to people from being around here. Maybe people feed him crumbs. Very sweet. I love seeing birds. Maybe that should be a future project. He's definitely so far one of the highlights of today. So while I'm walking around today, I'm trying to look for inspiring things, inspiring shapes. Here's something I've come across here. Really, really tiny little bud with the leaves coming out of it. But I also love kind of the shape of this branch. See how organic, and this line works amazing with just the little shoots coming off. This little thing here, this little shoot coming out of the side of the tree. Just love the structure of that, very tall and proud with the tiny leaves coming off. And even just looking at all of the moss, this amazing, amazing moss that's coming off of the trees at the moment. It's so beautiful. So definitely trying to look at textures and things that are kind of going on. Unexpected textures. Look at this as well. This is a huge tree. Look how big this tree is, and when you look up close, it's really wet moss, but it's amazing. There's just so much kind of texture in there. It's like a carpet. So things like this are so inspiring, and there's just all these little shapes in there that you could draw. And you can see, as if we look at this as a pattern, you've got quite bright greens but very dark greens in there, like the shadow it casts. So there's a lot of depth in there, but that would be something really fun to play around with in paint, to try and replicate this sort of pattern. I've also got like trees with lots of little buds on. Things are just coming out into life, which are really nice. And again, I just love seeing like the structure of the tree. So it's got its trunk there, and then it splits off into all of these different branches, and they kind of wander off in their own direction, but then everything goes sideways as well. So just looking at how things are structured, very much lots of horizontal branches on this tree, even though there's just, yeah, these kind of this bendy upward bendy upward branch. So just, yeah, just taking note really. Anyway, so let's go and look at all the flowers down here. There's Mr. Robin again. Can you see him? Our Robin friend is following us today. Oh, he's singing. Oh, he is amazing. I love listening to all the birds singing in the trees anyway, but this is so special that he keeps coming down to see what we're doing. Right, let's tiptoe around him. Hello, Mr. Robin. Will you let us get close? Hello. 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 Off he trots. Wow, that's amazing. So sweet. Gosh, look at these. How incredible are these? See the structure? They're like little flutes. And these little buds as well with the leaves around. These are so beautiful. I'm going to take some photos of these so that we can draw from these. I'm taking lots of pictures as I go today, as well as trying to sketch things out. So I might do a little sketch of these. Definitely take some photos, so I've got some reference photos to work from later on. The sun's back out again now, which is really nice because I found some nice shadows down here on the floor. So I'm going to spend some time now doing some shadow drawing. But yeah, look at this. I just love, see the daffodils and the light kind of dancing through them. Just kind of illuminates them. But yeah, even just seeing like a few little leaves on the trees that are coming through. And obviously it's these structures here that then we can see cast on the shadows. Look at that. So I'm just going to draw this a minute. Hello. 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 Wow, I've been sitting in the sun here by this little bush, and this is casting some lovely shadows. So I'm going to carry on drawing some shadows, but honestly, the sun is so warm. It's so nice. I could honestly go to sleep here. So yeah, I'm going to do the shadow drawing, and then I think I'm going to walk down to the end, down to the beach, and go and sit down there for a bit. Sun keeps going in, so I feel like I'm trying to chase the shadows as I'm drawing them. It's like shadow chasing, which is kind of funny. Anyway, I've decided I think I need a coffee and cake, so I'm going to go and do that, and then I'll go to the beach afterwards. So let's go to the cafe. As I was walking back to the cafe, I came across this beautiful big waterfall in the midst of the amazing fern trees, which made me feel like I was in a jungle. As I sat down with my cream tea, I was accosted by birds. 2 robins and a blackbird came to keep me company, who were all very tame, and they came begging for crumbs. It was so amazing to see them up close, even if they were very cheeky. Feeling refreshed from my coffee break, I headed back towards the beach and found the camellia walk, which was in full bloom. I also came across this amazing dead tree stump covered in holes, which I thought would make a really gorgeous texture if I tried to paint it in my sketchbook. It's a great idea to play around with later on. There is a big pond at the bottom of the garden which has a path all the way around it, so it is a lovely stretch to walk. It is also full of fish, and today there were quite a few swimming casually next to where I was stood. They are so graceful in the water, but as I looked through my camera lens, I realised how prominent the reflection of the sky and the trees were. It created the most surreal images, and yet was clear as day to me, of the fish swimming in the clouds. I love this idea. This is an amazing concept for a painting, something very unusual and unexpected, yet is a direct interpretation and connection to the experience of my day-to-day. This is definitely an idea I would love to explore in the future. It is completely unrelated to my current project, but you can see how today is all about seeking inspiration, and just by keeping an open mind as I wander around, these new exciting ideas that I would never have thought of on my own have a chance to surface. Finally, we've made it to the beach. The water is very still out here, and the waves gently lap the shore. There are always lots of shells and stones with interesting shapes and patterns here on the beach. It's fun to become a treasure seeker and to see what I can find. Looking out towards the horizon, these landscapes are very inspiring to me in the moment, and now seems as good a time as any to sit down and get my paints out. I've brought my little gouache palette with me, as well as my small box of water-soluble crayons to use, along with my water brush pen, so I get them out and have a play. Okay, I've been sat here with my little gouache paint palette and my little travel kit with all my pencils. I've also got these, my water-soluble crayons, and I have done this spread. So these are kind of my experiments and swatching colours, and then I've just done this little drawing. This is really unlike any of the work I normally do. Obviously this is supposed to be 100 days of drawing flowers, but I really felt cool to draw this view up here where this little house is. I'll zoom in. So that's what I've been drawing. So I've been sat here for about, I don't know, 45 minutes, and I did a gouache base first, then I used like Inktense blocks over the top, and then I've just gone in to do the details with my pencils. And the most fun thing for me is all these yummy textures and the layers that are building up. So this is the kind of stuff that I really want to carry forwards into my flower project. And this is the first time I've done colour with no black fine line pen. I've used my little pencil. Let me see if I can find it. I use my Luminance dark indigo pencil instead of a black fine liner, and I really love the result. So this is going to be great to translate what I've learned here into my flower project. So maybe doing base colours for the flowers and then going in to do details with my pencil. So yeah, anyway, it's time to go and do the school run now. So sadly I have to leave this beautiful beach. The sun has gone in as well, so maybe it's a good time to go. I've had such a good day. It's been so nice. I've got loads of work done. Let me show you what else I've done today. So this page, all of these are just kind of sketches. This was me chasing the shadow where the sun was going in. These are magnolias. So they're all quick sketches this morning. Drawing my little robin friend. Shadow drawing. So again, big shapes. So this would be quite nice to sort of fill out different coloured textures. Our little robin friend again. Quick sketches of those pink flowers. Ooh, and one more page here somewhere. Oh yeah, this start page, which was really nice to get some kind of shapes down. So yeah, had such a good day. I love this little bridge. It reminds me of the Monet bridge. But can you see here, look, all these gunnera are just starting to sprout and grow up. So beyond the bridge, kind of back here, this turns into a jungle in the summer. It's amazing. You can walk underneath all of the kind of giant gunnera leaves. It's so beautiful. So yeah, maybe we'll have to come back in the summer and kind of suss out some more flowers and see kind of the jungle aspect of the Gunnera. But yeah, and these are all the hydrangeas as well here, which are all kind of, they've died back, cut back, so you can see loads of the bridge, whereas in the summer, yeah, there's just so many amazing plants and flowers and it looks absolutely stunning. So maybe in a few months we'll come back and draw again. Something that I love from today is the idea of having fish in the trees or in the clouds. That clip from earlier, I never would have noticed that you can see the reflection. I was just looking into the pond to see the fish, whereas when I look through the camera lens, you can see the clouds clear as day, and like here you can see the trees. So I love this kind of surreal concept of having the fish in the trees and the clouds, and that is such a fun project to maybe work on in the future. Yeah, very inspiring. Love this bridge. Walking back to the car, it is so strange to see that the Gunnera are so small at the moment. They've died back for the winter and are just sprouting again. When I usually come in the summer, the leaves are so big that it's like a jungle. And when you walk down this path, there is a canopy of giant leaves over your head. I will have to come back again later in the year so I can show you. Well, I'm back. What a fantastic day that has been. It's been so nice just to wander around, just to feel inspired. So here's my top tips for searching for inspiration when you're feeling stuck. So today, as I wandered around, I was trying to take note of things like shapes, forms, pattern, texture, colour. I'm not necessarily just sticking to flowers, although because that's my project at the minute, I know that that's something I do want to be kind of taking in. So as I wandered around, I took reference photos of flowers, I did some sketches of flowers, but I'm also looking at everything. So I'm letting the entire landscape inspire me. So when I did the sketches, when I was sat on the bench and I was sketching the bushes, in fact, I've got it right here. So for example, this one, when I was sat on the bench and sketching kind of the bushes, so these were in the foreground, then there was this tree with these lovely shaped kind of teardrop shaped leaves, and then the magnolias behind. So this is really inspiring the sketch that I've done. So the sketch that I've done here, even like all these little shapes, are things that can now feed into my work and things that I can draw from. So nothing's ever wasted, even if you think it's like a rubbish drawing or it's not true to life, because that doesn't look anything like the view that we were looking at. But I'm getting information down, and it's the same thing here. So sketching out flowers, and maybe today I wasn't really feeling that inspired to draw flowers, but I'm trying to sketch out the shapes. There's still things here that I can work on in the future. So even though they're rough sketches, I think one of the most inspiring things I came across was our little bird. So for me today, there were 3 things that I found the most inspiring, and all of them had nothing to do with flowers. So first of all was our little robin friend. So the little bird that just kept following us around. I'll show you the sketch. Here's the sketches that I did of him, really fast and loose. I was just trying to really observe him as he was moving around. I think this is my favourite sketch that I did of him. But yeah, too quick to even really get any detail down or colour or anything, but so inspiring. I also did a few more sketches of him just here. And again, they're just a vague kind of robin shape, but just trying to take note of that. So yeah, I found that so inspiring. The second thing I found the most inspiring was when I was looking into the big pond, which was down at the end by the beach. I was looking into it and looking at the koi carp that was swimming around, the little fish. And as I looked through the camera lens, I then realised that actually I could see the clouds and the trees, which were reflected in the water so clearly. And then the fish was swimming through that, and it looked like the fish was swimming through the clouds. Now that is an amazing idea. That I found so inspiring. I love the kind of surrealism of that. That would be such a fun project to work on, and definitely something I'm going to hold on to for the future. But it's interesting to me that I only saw that because I was looking through the camera lens or the camera screen. When I looked with my own eyes, all I could see was the fish. So it's funny how things we take as normal, sometimes if you take a step back and look at them from a different perspective, you will see it in a completely different light. So that was the second thing I found most inspiring. And the third thing I found most inspiring was sitting on the beach and drawing the landscape. And again, this is something I never do. I never work in gouache as well. So I had my gouache palette with me, and I then drew in over the top with pencil. And again, I just let myself be inspired by what I was doing on the day. Something I always do, you'll know from watching all the videos, I always use my Neocolor 2s to start with. I put that down as a base, and then I draw in on top, and then I use black fine line. The black fine line always finishes off my drawings. So today, it was so inspiring to do something completely different, and I really felt called to work with paints. I'm so glad I took my gouache with me, my little gouache palette, and I'll show you what I did. So yeah, if I show you this is so different from any of the work that I've done in a long time, but the thing that I love about this is gorgeous watery textures coming out here, layering up colour, but also when you look in here, look at all the textures coming up. And this actually reminds me a lot of that moss. Do you remember earlier in the day we looked at the tree moss? So it's interesting to me that sort of patterns and textures that I looked at throughout the day seem to have come through here. So this was working with coloured pencils, which I swatched here, and then the base of gouache. And it's a lovely satin base that I could work on top of, and it dried really quickly. And I really love as well that I just used that coloured pencil to do all the outlines and draw in the details. And for me, this was such a successful drawing, and I surprised myself, and I think that was the main thing I got from it. So those three different things have then given me loads of ideas moving forwards. So for example, the landscape that I did and the way that I work with gouache, I can now translate that back into the work that I've been doing. Maybe even start off just with my shadow drawings and painting those out instead of drawing them out in my fine line pen. I think I'm going to buy some fresh flowers so that then I can do a new shadow drawing and use my gouache and my pencils instead and see how that goes. So that's the plan for tomorrow. But also just thinking about things in a different way. So like the clouds and the fish, and is there a way I can incorporate that into my drawings, into my florals? So yeah, interesting, like the ideas that have broadened my horizon just from having one day out in nature, out in the garden, and just seeing what came up. When I left this morning, I did think, is this a mistake? Should I go? It's really early in the year. I know that most of the normal flowers that I associate with that garden are not going to be out. Is there even going to be anything to see? And the best thing about today is that it was completely different things that inspired my work. This has also made me want to draw birds as well, so something I do keep coming back to in the back of my mind. So yeah, can you see how just by letting yourself be inspired and not sticking too strictly to what your brief is? I think sometimes if you're feeling stuck, you're feeling like you're forcing the art that you're doing, it means that you're not following the inspiration. So sometimes you've got to get out of your comfort zone, do something different, and seek that inspiration as well, and let it inspire you, let it ignite that inspiration again. And then you'll find you go off maybe on a whole new tangent, but that's the beauty of art, and that's what's going to make your art yours. And it's also going to be how you find your style in the long run. So I really hope this video has been helpful for you. It's been so helpful for me. I feel like I'm on a roll again with this project. I'm going to end this video here. So this is a day in the life vlog. I hope you've enjoyed it. This is how I would spend a perfect day as a full-time artist. This is literally my dream day. So let's do more of these this summer as well. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Lots of love. Thank you for coming along on this adventure. See you soon. Bye.